The OKC Thunder have just reached their first NBA Finals since 2012, and somehow they could get even scarier next year. That might sound a little crazy, but they have the best young core in the league and the most draft capital for years to come. They will pick twice in the first round of this year's stacked draft, and moreover, they will have Serbian guard Nikola Topic, last year's lottery selection, debuting after injury. In a league where everyone else's contending windows are shortening because of the new CBA rules, are we about to see OKC dominating for long? Let's see what Nikola Topic will bring to Oklahoma. 2024 draft was a tricky one. In what was dubbed by many as the weakest selection in years, the biggest high-risk, high-reward choice at 12 was definitely Serbian Nikola Topic. I would have said Matas Buzelis, but he was selected at 11th by the Bulls. It was known at the time that Topic will miss the entire year, but it fit the OKC timeline perfectly. Their core was already strong, and it was clear that an offense-oriented rookie guard wouldn't contribute much to your championship aspirations in his year one. But the Serbian was definitely worth betting on. The last 2 years heading up to this event were a crazy roller coaster for the tall, slashy, and crafty 6'6" point guard. First, he was projected to go only in the second round. Then he played at an insane level in Europe and even got to being a top 3 pick in almost all mock boards. Then came 2 knee injuries and only 6 games played in the last 6 months heading into the 2024 draft. Nobody really knew which franchise is going to take the risk, but Sam Presti at 12 was like, okay, this seems like a perfect draft and stash choice for us. The potential this kid has is clear. However, a lot of teams probably felt a bit afraid like they were with Michael Porter Jr. a couple of years ago. Similarly to Nikola's knee problems, Porter had back issues at a young age, which led to him sliding down to Denver at only the 14th pick, despite him being dubbed as the top prospect of his class. Now, Nikola Topic started gaining attention at the start of 2023 after his performances at the EuroLeague's ANGT tournament. Guard dropped 49 in a single game. On top, he also added 12 assists and 11 drawn fouls. And if you want another fun fact from that special game that put Nikola on the map, his last 37 came in the last 16 minutes of the match. NBA scouts were like, okay Nikola, we see you. But this was only the beginning. After this, his stock started to skyrocket. The Serbian won the FIBA Under-18 European Championship in the summer of 23. He not only won, he dominated, got the MVP, showcased his impressive skills on the brightest stage for himself at the time. Scouts and GMs saw the impressive speed that gets him an insane amount of paint touches per game. He was getting to the most coveted spot in basketball with ease, using the acceleration, changes of pace, and direction. Once he was there, Serbian used a variety of different and sometimes weird and tough-looking finishes, or just simply going to the foul line. On top, Topic's basketball IQ is considered way above his age. His reads were just as good as a veteran point guard's, and his pass is precise. Natural instincts and incredible size caught the attention. The skill made everyone believe. However, what happened in the next 4 months stunned everybody. From October 23 to January 24, Topic was rising in the mock boards every week. Literally every week his position was higher. And there was a good reason for it. He dominated the Adriatic League playing against pros in Europe for Mega Basket, the same team Nikola Jokic also played before the draft. In 33 minutes, he averaged 18 points, 7 assists, and 50% shooting from the field. He was hot from the first game, with nobody seeming to find an answer for his combination of size, speed, and understanding of the game. The quickness was just fascinating to watch. And it wasn't only about speed going straight, it's about how the Serbian was able to navigate and move around like a snake. He barely loses speed changing direction here, and that allows him to go coast to coast for 2. That's one thing that makes Topic special. His team would set picks at half court for Nikola to get advantage in the pick and roll and attack the big who is backing down. On top, standing at 6'6", he can simply run into bigs and finish these with a foul. Also, his layup package would almost definitely get a badge in 2K. Up and unders and his weaker left-hand finishes are nothing new. From close, but also from a bit further away. Or just look at this small detail. He explodes against the big after the switch and finishes from the other side at the last moment. This might seem like nothing, but it actually is an advanced finish because it helps Topic to avoid the block. He's not a huge vertical threat, he doesn't possess that type of athleticism. Just look at these opportunities in transition. Dunks were a rarity because those are power layups at best. Of course, the modern NBA is all about the best athletes in the world, and a Serbian with a vertical threat would have been a lock for the top pick. However, some scouts love him because he can score without that. Just look at this. Opponents go under, he immediately plays a rescreen. Then a snake dribble against the drop, which gives time for the big to seal his man and opens up a freeway to the rim for Topic. Pure class. He is extremely good at utilizing these Gortat screens. Nikola would simply spam this read in every game if he saw the passive coverage. Some teams even had to start switching against their will. But what about his passing, you might ask? Well, a 7 assist average kinda speak for itself, especially when in Europe they are not counted as loosely as they are in the NBA. Mistakes on empty corner pick and roll coverages by the opponents were immediately punished. Again, that's where his size helps immensely and why he should be able to transfer this skill to the NBA as well. Standing at 6'6", he can see over the help and pass over bigger players. In ISOs after switches, teams would often pack the driving gaps, making it tough for him. However, Topic usually made the right decision whether to drive until the end or kick it out. I especially love this next read. Serbian sees the weaker defender he wants in front and calls his own number. There are flare screens happening on both sides to occupy the help defenders, and on the left there is a mistake on the switch. Topic wastes no time in throwing this beautiful bullet pass with his left hand without hesitation. Of course, after all of these dominant performances, he injured his knee. Yes, he came back months later and then re-injured the same knee more severely. That and some other weaknesses made him fall in the draft. For example, although he stands at 6'6", his wingspan is below his height, a disappointing result for NBA teams. That doesn't help him on defense, where sometimes you kinda miss more energy from the Serbian. But also maybe that was partly because he ran the offense and played basically the entire game, 33 minutes out of 40. Teams in Europe were keeping distance and going under because he is so quick, but also because he was always only around 30% from deep. His mechanics are questionable, the arc is flat, influencing a lot of these misses. He has shown he can make it off the dribble and his free throw percentage is high, so maybe that's a sign of optimism, but for now there are a lot of question marks. Looking at recent examples, even full-time starters get benched during the playoffs if they can't make the long ball. And OKC just traded a tall point guard who couldn't shoot to Chicago because he couldn't be effective next to SGA without the basketball. Yeah, OKC do have a famous shooting coach, Chip Engelland, in the staff, so maybe he can help Topic raise his game to another level? Also, OKC are so stacked, I'm not sure Topic will get a lot of minutes next season. There is Shea, J-Dub, there's Lou Dort, there's Caruso, Cason Wallace fits in amazingly, there's also Isaiah Joe. They all have defined roles already, and I'm not sure a guard who needs the ball to be effective can contribute as a role player right away. If Topic develops into a solid ball handler for OKC, great. If he doesn't, I guess that's fine too, because Sam Presti can just flip him over for more picks later and the circle would continue. That's the scariest part about OKC. They have the tools to be dominant for years to come. What do you guys think about Nikola Topic? Can he become great for OKC? And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel because that would help us grow faster. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.